Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a good day here. I want to hope you having a good weekend, a good morning. Hope you're staying warm. I want to show you something. This video is going to show you the stats. In the wake of the Charlie Kirks and Lilly Gaddis's always point things out at the black community. We're going to look at the percentage of white people that have SA, and this is out of the United States Sentencing Commission. This is a website, and I'm going to read the percentage of number of sexual abuse offenses from 2020 to 24. According to the United States Sentencing Commission, 93.5% individual sentences for sexual abuse were men. 55.1% were white. 15.2% were Hispanic. 13.9% were black. 13% were Native American, and 2% were other races. This is sexual abuse. 67% of individuals in cases involving production of child pornography, 67% of child pornography were white. 55.6% of individual cases involving travel prohibited sexual contact were white. 60.5% individual cases involving criminal sexual abuse, the R word, were Native American. 85% of individuals in cases involving statutory R were Native American. 48% of individuals involving abuse of sexual cut were Native American, and 23.1% were white. The average age was 38 years. 98% of white citizens, 94.8 were United States citizens. 71.6 were little or no prior criminal history category. 10% were CHA, say 6.9, 3.2, 3.2. And here's the, if you can, let me see this. The district, Oklahoma district, this was taken, the district, North District, Oklahoma, Eastern District of Oklahoma, Southern District of Florida, and Southern District of Texas. It was 40%, 42%, 44%. The primary abuse attack for the 2024, and it just shows you the graph. The individual sentence for the sexual abuse was 221 months. 92.9% of individuals sentenced for sexual abuse were sentenced to prison. And it tells you more. So this is a graph of. But do you ever hear Charlie Kirk talk about this? Do you ever hear Lilly Gaddis or Pearl? Just Pearly Pearl. They don't do their research like this. Okay, and talk about this. This is actual a website called United States Sentencing Commission. It tells you, and this is about, since people like to make things on race and throwing on a certain demographic of people. So this is according to this website. That's race. Now, I got another thing I want to show you. I want to show you this. Who commits more crimes than blacks in 2019?
And on the FBI statistics for crime, right? So we're going to go down to it. Now, when it comes to homicides, when it comes to homicides, 4,078 blacks were murdered, right? 3,000 blacks. So blacks was responsible for killing 4,078 blacks. Whites was responsible for 3,650 murders. Right? Now, black people are 13% of the 14% of the population. What this means is that we murder each other at a rate as if a 10 times. This is so bad. This means that we kill each other at such a high rate, at these high rates, to where we murder each other more than the group that has the biggest population in America. So I want my people to understand that we're a small percentage and we kill each other at such high rates that we murder each other more than the group that's over us, populated. So what this means, if white people are 65-70% and we're 14%, correct? And we kill each other more than them, then that means we murder each other at rates that are, we're killing each other. You understand what I'm saying? So our murder rate, black on black crime, is horrible. It is devastating. It is catastrophic, and this shit should be stopped now, right? And that's just with black on black murdering. That's telling you how bad the gang violence is. That's telling you how bad the neighborhood beefs is. That's telling you how bad we take each other out. Now, with that being said, white people still accustomed for 3,650 murders in 2019. So this means that while white people could look at our murders and say, oh, y'all are horrible. Bitch, y'all got 3,650 murders yourself. So y'all kill each other as well. So y'all are not innocent. Y'all murder each other. Y'all are still responsible for 36. So while we get looked at for our murders that we commit, and we are, and it is horrible, at the same time, you still kill each other too. It's just at lower rates, but overall, y'all still kill each other. So while black people are looked at as bad for all the murders we looked at for, right? So think about it. All the murders that we do to each other at the high rates, they make up for that damn near 3,650. How far is that from 4,078? That's not a long shot. So that's showing you that white people kill each other. So white people commit crime, white people kill each other. So we still in the same range. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it would have said 2,000, it would have been different. But 3,650? Hold on. Let's do the correct math. So that's 428 murders. 428 murders, right? Okay, cool. So 428 murders was the difference between, in 2019, between blacks and whites. Okay, all right. So while we look at black on black crime and say, God damn, that shit bad and it's horrible, white people do this, kill each other too. You know what I'm saying? So like, only difference was a couple of hundred murders difference in 2019. But let's keep going. So while we murder each other more than whites, when it comes to rape, white people got 11,600 So they rape we murder each other at a high rate, and they rape at a high rate. So I'm just saying, okay. Now, when it comes to robbery, right? Here we go. 29,677. When it comes to white people, 25,143. So we rob at high rates. They rob as well. So our murders is not too far from each other. Our robberies are not too far. But once again, we're 13% of the population, and if it's coming from black men, then we gotta say that's 6 to 7% of the population. So us black men are doing it, robbing and killing at such high rates. We're doing stuff to each other as if we're the population of whites, but we're not. So this is bad on our part, right? But now, look at this. When it comes to burglary, right? Remind you, black people, oh, we don't want to live around. They still, when it comes to burglary, 81,000 whites, 34,000 blacks. So white people are more likely to burglarize you than a black person, right? And they got us by thousands. Larceny theft, blacks 178, whites 393,000. And I said 178, I meant 178,000. Almost going into 200,000. So that's showing you motor theft. Blacks 16,000, whites 38,000. Arson, white. Look at this. Now, in general, it says violent crime. Blacks 129,000, whites 209,000. Fraud. Look at vandalism. Look at all these things. Prostitution. Oh Lord, let's get to the sex offenses. Blacks 5,000, whites 21,000. Look at how many statistics that whites have way more crime statistics than us. The only thing we do more worse than whites is kill each other and rob. And they around the same thing. So this thing of white people are innocent, white people are the gold the gold standard, white people are this, white people are that, blacks are the savages and this, that, and that. Like I said, last time we checked in January 6th, who ran into the Capitol? Who assaulted police officers? Who violated the government? Who had them scared? Who had AOC making up stories, scared for her life? You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Who tried to kill Donald Trump? Who shot Donald Trump? Was it a black or white? Okay, all right. We kill each other.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
And guess who's around that? And whites kill each other, and they rob as well. And then they commit a whole bunch of. They rape more than us. They're more sex offenders than us. They burglarize more than us. They identity theft more than us. They're so I just don't and these are statistical facts. So when people bring what? The murders, they're only 428 off. Robberies, they're only 1,000, maybe 1,000 off. We had 26,000. What they were? We had I'm sorry, 29,000. I'm sorry, I looked at that wrong. So we got them about 4,000. Yeah, so we got them in murder and robbery. But every other crime, larceny, motor vehicle theft, and then when it comes to just violent crimes, they got us 209,000. They got us by a couple of thousand. You know, property crime, we got 200 and some thousand, 231,000. They got, so white people lead in just think about it. When it comes to all these sex offenders, they got us about 15,000. Let's see. They got us in gambling. Offenses against family and children. Blacks, 16,000. Whites, 38,000. Driving under the influence. Blacks, 90,000. Whites, 526,000.
Whoa.
Okay. White people lead in crime, commit way more crimes than blacks. The only thing we do is rob and kill each other. That's the only thing we do more than them. All the other crimes, think about it. Every other category, just this is 2 out of. Let's count it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So only 2 categories out of 18. And it said 69% of the people arrested was white. So this is the 2019 government statistics. So before I ever hear someone ever say black people are savages, black people are the problem, just know, when you say black people are responsible for 50% of the crime, just know the other half of that shit is whites. 50% is not 100%. So that means who's responsible for the other murders in America? Oh, whites. When we talk, right, we only lead 2 categories: robbery and murder. Every other category, they fucking lead. Whether it be rape, pedophile, sex offenses, like grand theft, stealing property, burglary, car theft, identity. Whites lead all crime, every other crime. We only got 2 categories. And these are facts that I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? So, I do this shit, and this is the FBI statistics. This is not up for debate. But once again, when they control the media, when they have the news networks, they can control what is talked about. Now, let's be clear. Black people, we should be fucking ashamed. We should be in tears for the fucking murder rate. This is literally saying that us black men, we kill each other so much that we murder each other 10 times our population. We should be fucking ashamed. Now, this is why I say accountability. We gonna always hold ourselves accountable. But one thing we not finna do is go with on a fucking lie. And that's that. These are statistical facts. So if anybody, Myron Gaines, Piers Morgan, Mark Lamar, anybody got something to say, these are statistical
So, what else is going on with white people? Why they're under the curse? Watch this. When it comes to essence unaliving themselves due to losing land.
I watched a talented leader with the right answer at the right time completely fall flat in the meeting.
Many of us have been able to bounce back from the isolation we dealt with during the pandemic, but farmers are forced to live with it every day. And now the industry is seeing a staggering amount of suicides. The numbers are hard to believe, and advocates are now searching for help from the state. Texas Today's Meredith Haas joins us now to share what's happening.
Tahisha, this information comes from the Texas Tribune. The Texas Agricultural Department has asked the state legislature for $500,000. They say the money would provide necessary funding for the farmer mental health and suicide prevention program. It would help families like Grant Heinrichs, who you see right here. Grant tells the Texas Tribune that he's lost too many family members to suicide. He says this has happened because farmers are so isolated and they don't have the resources needed to care for their mental health needs in rural areas. According to the CDC, suicide rates have increased 46% in rural areas. Meanwhile, in metro areas, that number is much lower at 27.3%. Now, rural citizens are also 1.5 times more likely to be hospitalized for self-harm incidents, while farmers are 3.5 times more likely. Now, Grant says other factors like financial stress farmers have felt from the last agricultural season could also be contributing to the spike in suicides. The historic drought devastated crops across Texas, so now Grant is an advocate for mental health access himself. And Senator Roland Gutierrez of San Antonio has said he would help the Department of Agriculture with funding in this legislative session. If the program receives the funding needed, it will allow more farmers and families the access to a helpline in times of need.
All right, Meredith, those numbers staggering. Hopefully they can get the help they need. Thank you. Now, of course, if you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts and need help, you can always call the free 24/7 national hotline. That number is 98.
We know you often join us for Boyd Hooper's Land of 10,000 Stories to lift your spirits, but tonight it's not quite the same. A few weeks ago, Boyd received an email from a farm family in western Wisconsin. They were grieving a terrible loss, a struggle too many people, especially on the farm, may face alone, and the Webster family didn't want that.
"143 harvests have come and gone since the 1880 founding of the Webster farm. But this one feels different to Mitchell Webster.
I'm not used to driving the combine.
Feels wrong to Mitchell's sister Jen,
Yeah,
too.
that's Dad's office. He's supposed to be in there.
Brian Webster would be in the combine bringing in the corn,
He planted it. Pretty much planted it all.
but not for the August morning when Brian's wife Kim found him at his semi.
He was my love of my life.
At age 58, Brian had died by suicide.
I just wish he would have talked to me.
Sadly, the Webster story is all too familiar. The National Rural Health Association says the suicide rate among farmers is 3.5 times the general population. Key reasons cited by the group ring true to Brian's family.
You're at the mercy of all these different obstacles, and a lot of it you don't have control over.
Unpredictable weather and financial pressures bear down hard on farmers, who are often reluctant to seek mental health care.
There's still a pretty big stigma around mental health and, keeping your feelings to yourself. That's unfortunately still a common thing in agriculture.
Brian's family decided to address the stigma head-on in his obituary, writing that he died from complications with depression. Few of Brian's neighbors knew he had struggled with the mental illness that had run in his family. Passed on again to Brian's youngest son, Tom.
People judge me, I guess, whatever. I mean, it's a real thing, so it's an illness, but I'm not scared to let people know I have it.
Tom is on medication, and once a month, between milkings, drives from Ellsworth to Redmond to see a therapist.
Talking to people about it makes me feel better. I mean, that's what seems to help me.
Brian had sought medical help too. His doctor had switched him to a new antidepressant shortly before he died.
It's really hard to know, like, what was the tipping point exactly. If there was one thing, if there was multiple things. It's hard for me to make sense that he's not here.
Brian's family buried him next to his parents within sight of his farm. Then
Sorry.
they asked us to share their story.
Miss you, Dad. Love you.
The Websters had some things they wanted to say.
I want farmers to know. Not just farmers, just anybody. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to get help. It's okay to be on medication. It's okay to not be okay.
They know, though private, the former combine driver had another attribute.
Dad always wanted to help people. If he could help somebody, he would.
Helping now seems like the one thing that could bring some healing to this hurtful harvest.
Please go get help. There's really no shame in getting help.
Why? Now, so my question is to you. Any white person come across this video, why is Lilly, Nick, Kirk ever talk about this? Why don't you, when I say you need to address your problems, you need to address your problems. This is the problem. So we gotta point this out. But everybody so focused on other races of people as the white population, they're not even they won't make video like this about their own. So it's trendy to mock people while your own men in your own community, like black men, are paying the price. And they can't handle the pressure of life, of losing stuff, due to mental health. But when black people have mental health, it's just, oh well. Sorry, it is what it is, but it's the truth. Whether it's a criminal, whether it's whatever, but the police, if a black person has some kind of mental episode, whatever, they're getting unalive. But when white people do it, this is what happens. And I'm not laughing or mocking it, but this is sad. This really is. Watch. So I gotta show you something else. Now it's gonna fall on. Lilly didn't want to talk about white Europeans, culture, whatever. Why don't she talk about the men in her community? Because I'm about to show you something. Why is Nick Fuentes? They want to dwell on blacks, but they don't want to dwell on their problem. That's why I say, white people, you need to worry about your own. Stop trying to come at us with your problem when you got a lot of problems in your community. The white people who come at us like that. Now, this young man commits suicide. Good old American white male.
When it turned out of the death of a high school football player, his family says he was driven to take his own.
Sorry. It's buffering a little bit.
Life after falling victim to social media.
See, as black people lose their children, white people are losing their children. And I'm not mocking and making laughing at it. This is they losing to suicide.
It's an extortion scam. Well, Reeve has that story. Good morning, Will.
Hey, good morning, George. It's unfathomable.
See, when people find another human being cruelty, and black people are not laughing. Black people don't laugh at something like this. They don't make a joke out of it. They don't go make memes on TikTok of someone alive and they sell their
Into
life.
Suicide by a pernicious and pervasive scam. Now the teen's parents are speaking out about their tragedy.
Overnight, the parents of a Michigan teenager speaking out about a growing social media scam they said led to the death of their 17-year-old son.
3 people from across the world came into my house that night while I was sleeping and murdered Jordan. And I had zero chance to stop it.
John DeMay and Jennifer Buta opening up about so-called sextortion scams, which trick teens into sending explicit photos of themselves online, only to be blackmailed. Their son Jordan becoming a victim of the scheme, later taking his own life.
Jordan was this outgoing young man. He had a smile that was contagious. He loved playing sports.
He was handsome. He was popular. He was the prom king.
The beloved high school football player was scammed into sending explicit photos of himself to who he thought was a teenage girl on Instagram. But prosecutors allege he was actually speaking to Samuel Ogoshi, a grown man from Nigeria, pretending to be a young woman to produce a sexually explicit image of Jordan with the intention of using the image to blackmail him.
He drained his bank accounts as much as he could.
On March 25, 2022, prosecutors say Ogoshi demanded $1,000 from the teen, writing under the fake account Danny Roberts. I have screenshot all your followers and tags, can send this nudes to everyone. All you've to do is cooperate with me and I won't expose you.
He's believing that all these images are going to his friends' mothers and his friends, and it just threw him into a tailspin.
2 hours after the initial threat, Jordan wrote, I'm kill myself right now, because of you. The scammer's response, good, do that fast, or I'll make you do it. Moments later, Jordan died by suicide. Last year, the FBI said there were roughly 7,000 reports of sextortion online, resulting in more than a dozen suicides. Authorities stressing that while any child could be targeted, 14 to 17-year-old boys are most often victimized. Now, Jordan's parents are helping other families know of the potential dangers about what children are exposed to online and how to prevent it from happening.
Having open conversations about the dangers of social media in general and specifically sextortion. Let your kids know. If it does happen, go to a trusted adult and let them know that this is happening and get.
So, sees a young man, nice suburban school, probably rural area, you hear popular and everything. The all-American boy. See how it's happening in that part of the community? I don't know what happened. But this is going on among the white community. Now, why is that the white community not addressing this? Why are they so busy in black folks' business? Some white people in their business. This is going on in the white community. And like I said, I don't take no pleasure and joy. But why is it that everybody looking to us as crying? Why they try to demonize us when the curse of what you're going through of people that look like you, and some of these people that look like you in your own community, like Pearl. I don't get it. Why they not addressing this? Why they not addressing this? Here's a white female.
A warning, this next story is about suicide, and it's an issue that's top of mind for one northern Kentucky community. 5 teens in the Boone County School District died by suicide between November of last year and this February. Tonight, we introduce you to Jamie Seitz, who lost her daughter to suicide. As our Emily Sisk reports, Jamie is speaking out about her experience and what she wants other parents to know.
Audrey Heine was a spirited 13-year-old girl.
She went to Ackerman Middle School in Florence and, like most teenage girls, loved taking selfies and hanging out with friends.
Audrey was ambitious. She was so artistic. If you were around her, she just lit up the room. She wasn't a stranger to anybody.
In December of last year, however, everything changed. Just a few days after Thanksgiving and her 13th birthday, Audrey died by suicide. Her mother reflected on the days leading up to her death.
They were so normal. They were completely above normal. I mean, between her birthday and her death, she went to the zoo. She got to see every family member, basically. She was the happiest I've seen her in a long time.
On the night Audrey died, everything seemed routine. The family ate dinner together, watched a movie, then got ready for bed.
She took a shower, she laid out her clothes. I told her, love you, good night, and that was it.
A few hours later, though, their world turned upside down.
That's when, chaos and tragedy and everything happened, and it was, it's a blur, but it's not, because I do remember details. It's just how that night went.
In the week that followed Audrey's death, Jamie spoke with a Boone County detective who told her more information about what was happening in her daughter's life.
And that's when they told me the whole truth, and I was like, what? My mind could not at all wrap around it.
Audrey interacted with an online group known as True Crime Community, or TCC. The group idolized violent offenders like the Columbine school shooters. According to her mother, Audrey was first exposed to the ideas through a video game called Roblox, which then expanded to a social media page. She used the platform TikTok to access the group. Experts say the online community appeals to kids who may feel rejected or lonely.
I don't think there is a feeling to describe how you feel when you learn something. And then, you feel like, what did I miss? Her phone had parental controls. I know, I thought I knew her, but I never knew this side. When people say it starts at home, no. A lot of times nowadays, it starts online.
While Jamie was still processing her daughter's death, more suicides took place within the Boone County School District.
I'm seeing another suicide. I'm seeing another and another and another. And I'm like, what is happening in Boone County? What is going on? And why haven't you all reached out?
Jamie decided to speak out on her own. She attended a Boone County School Board meeting, pleading for action.
We have to come up with something, and the moms out here are willing to do anything. Just, we don't want anybody else to have to suffer, and it is so hard.
Jamie has since become an advocate across the region for families who have gone through a similar pain. She has even become an advocate across the country, conducting interviews with national news organizations. While she's not big on public speaking, she is determined to get her message to as many people as possible.
The whole stigma, it has to be broken. It has to be, it's okay to not be okay. I'm going to focus all of my energy onto something else that will make a change. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, but I'm going to do it.
For Kentucky Edition, I'm
America, these are your children. White America, this is your children. Just like black Americans lose their children to violence, now you're losing your children to violence. But it's not at the hands of black people. It's at the hands of themselves and technology. It's sad, ain't it? And of course, it was a young black girl that unalived herself, young woman, because she was being bullied online. Because she was complaining. So parents, regardless of race, kids being bullied at school, regardless of race. America need to focus on that. But do you notice all This goes back to the Bible. One is death of a child in the black community. It's come back something. They don't necessarily have to hit circumstances like they might hit the black community, but it's going to eventually hit the white community. And why are white content creators ain't talking about this? This is in their own backyard. The grown men, why are they not talking about this? But yet they make a division. So some of these people, like Just Pearly, Lilly and Gaddis, Nick Fuentes, Charlie Kirk, and many other people won't even talk about this. This is in their backyard. This Boone County is a suburb of Kentucky. Rural Wisconsin. So black people didn't send no curse to you. There's nothing. So what's behind it? No one done threaten you. No one harassed you that looked like my skin color. Accountability was what count. But do you understand how things come around and go around? And then when Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, and the other ones, and they mock them. See what happened years later? Now, her daughter was inspired by the Columbine mass shooters back in 1999 because they felt rejected. White people, you have a problem among your children. You do. You have a problem in your community. You have a big problem. We are least of your problem. Other people are least of your problem. You have a problem. You need to deal with your problem. With your young people. You need to deal with your problem, white women, with your men. How to cope with life. Lilly and Just Pearl, this is the part of the background they don't tell you about. This is people that's in their backyard. This is what they grew up with. They come from places like this. Nico Fuentes and Charlie Kirk and Tucker Carlson, they come from people like this. They live in areas like this. They got relatives that live like this. But yet they keep picking at black people. Why? Where's Donald Trump in this? This is people that look like can be like his relatives. Pete Heckenstadt. We go on and on. J.D. Vance. Where is it? Pam where is the white people? That when you work, but you're so demonizing another people, you won't even address yet. This is happening in your community, across America. But we're so focused on other races of people, holding back other people. But you see how the way my black people that read the Bible, you see how Deuteronomy 28 did? You see what that Bible said? It's going to fall back on the generations of the children. It's falling. That's what we say. We are the people of the book. And it's not that saying that these people had something, may not be the descendants of the people that did it. They may not be. But this is the point. But when they mock and laugh, this is what happens to them. This message is not about hate. The message is about awareness. The message is about breaking stereotypes. The message is about misinformation, misjudgment, preconception, assuming things just because the culture of somebody and the color of their skin and the negativity that they have. Under the guide of why is the Christian church ain't talking about this in their community. Why is the Copeland ain't talking about this? Why is Genty Palencia ain't talk about this? Why is all the other... They're not. Is Jim Baker talking about this? Is Jimmy Swagger's son talking about this? I go on. This in the white community. But yet, when it comes to blacks, let's focus on them. If it comes to these other people, let's focus on. But even though they focus on right now the immigrants, the blacks, and whatever, but yet the white people are being ignored. They're not addressing their problems. They're not bringing it out on social media. When they mock and think lowly of a group of people, look what happened to them. Look what happened to them. Look what's happened to their children. Look at what happened to their women. But yet, don't you see, by mocking us, you see, by coming at people for 400, 200, 300 years, you see how it's starting to tally up? Like as you see in the last video, we are the people of the book. They didn't give us Jesus. Jesus came for us. The savior complex, the white savior complex is over. You need to save yourself. Learn about yourself. It's time to turn and be mission into the role parts of other Europeans, Americans. Stop trying to come over to see what we're doing. You need to focus on yours. Because your people are suffering. West Virginia, Iowa, Wisconsin. You name it. Just to the white population. You're suffering. It's on your head, and it's not going to get better. More and more we get afflicted from erasing our history, erasing everything, and subjugating us. It's going to get worse in your community. That's just a warning. All right then, guys. Take care. See you on the next video.